Three things that you must have in place in order to grow and scale a successful online coaching business. Or if you're a service-based provider, these things are also critical for you as well. So welcome back. I'm Shana Recker. I'm here on the How It's Going podcast, or How It's Really Going podcast, and on the YouTube channel. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to talk about this. What I'm sharing in this training today is actually the core of the Client Attractor, which is my signature program that helps new online coaches build their business, launch their signature program, get on social media, and attract in their first paying clients. So I'm kind of giving you a little sneak peek inside the program through this training and sharing some of the insights and some of the things that we work on inside this program. I think it's important to share this because I do know as new online coaches start their business, they can get caught up in a lot of things that are actually not important when you start your business. They can get caught up in building websites and logos and even business cards. Does anybody even still have business cards? I don't know. I don't. They can get caught up in doing things that are actually keeping them from having paid clients. And so I wanted to shed some light on what I teach my clients here in this video and on the podcast to help you stay focused on the right things that are going to help you attract clients faster. So let's get into that. Now, before I do want to share that I also have another free training for you guys. It's called Foundation. You can go to shanarecker.com/foundation masterclass. And inside this foundations masterclass is a little bit more on this topic. I share with you things that are a must-have for an online business, regardless of social media trends, regardless of what's going on online. These are things that no matter what kind of business you're in or what's going on in the online space, these things are always and always will be foundational for your business. It's a free 2-part training. You can access it right away. You get instant access when you get the link, depending on where you're listening to this on YouTube. You can check the description on the podcast. You can check the show notes and you can get access to that. For today, I'm going to be focusing on 3 areas I recommend new coaches focus on when they start their business. The first thing, first and foremost, for any new online business, any business, to be honest, you need to be super clear on who it is that you serve, how you help them create a result, and also who you are, really getting to know you and getting to know how you want to show up in your business. So I'm going to unpack all 3 of those things. So the first thing is getting clear on who it is you serve. Before we actually get into that one, getting clear on the results you provide. That's really the number one thing that you must be clear on when it comes to creating an online coaching business or an online service-based business. And that is because if you do not know the results that you help somebody get, how are you going to know who needs it? How are you going to create anything for your business if you don't know how you help people, right? So that seems like a no-brainer, but I can't tell you how many times people come into my space and they don't know the transformation they provide. Maybe they took a life coaching certificate, or maybe they took, some hypnosis training or something, and they get stuck on this spot of, I don't know the transformation I provide. I know I can help people. I know I have tools. I know I've been through this, but I'm not really clear on who else needs this. And so getting really clear on the results that you provide and how you help people, then from there, you can decide, okay, well, I know I can help people who are moving through divorce, let's say. Like, I've been through it. I've taken some coaching. I went through this. I know a lot about this. I went through this in my 40s. I really want to help women who are in their 40s, who maybe still have kids at home, who are maneuvering this. That's the person that I want to help. So by being clear on the transformation that you do provide, the results that you provide and can help somebody through, now you can pick, okay, well, who do I want to work with to help them get this result? Because who you help, I mean, really, a lot of times as coaches, we can help anyone pretty much, depending on your niche. Like, I'm an online business coach. So obviously people have to be starting a business to be able to get results by working with me, but I can help men, women, all different ages. Like, there's a lot of different people who are in, the online space that I can help with my service. I don't necessarily want to help all those people, right? I do want to help people, but I specialize in helping women, specifically the women that I seem to attract to my business. And that's probably because it's very similar to who I am. Is they're usually anywhere from 35 to upwards of 55, 60. And I help them start online businesses and help them maneuver the tech and all of those things, right? So I know the results I provide and I know the type of person that I like to work with. So I'm really clear on those 2 things. And then the other piece of this clarity is getting really to know yourself and getting to know, how do I want to show up in my business? How do I want my brand vibe to be? How do I want to be with my clients? How do I want to show up in the online space? And this isn't about contriving something that isn't really who you are. It's more about really getting to discover who you really are and allowing your true self to shine through your business. And this is not always easy. What happens is a lot of times people come into the online coaching space and they see other coaches who are successful. And so they start to try and be like those coaches. They lose themselves in that. That's not going to help your business. It's not going to help you attract clients, because people can feel that energy. When you're trying to be like someone else, people can feel that and it feels off to them because you're not really being true to who you really are. This may take some time for you to uncover. I know that seems odd to be able to be like, why would it take time for me to uncover who I really am? I am me. But you don't realize how much social conditioning and how many layers of things that we've that's been passed down to us through our childhood and through just society and all of that stuff that's covering up your true self. So over time, as you're building your business, you're going to uncover more and more. I feel like entrepreneurship, it absolutely is a personal development journey, especially if you let it be. And you can really uncover a lot about yourself and what you're capable of by starting a business, by becoming an entrepreneur. I know that's been my story for sure. So the more of you that you allow into your business, the easier it's going to be for you to create your business. Because it's hard to be like someone else. It's hard to try and be like someone else. It really is. And it's frustrating and it takes extra energy. But when you can just be yourself and you can just show up how you show up and talk like you talk and say things like you say things, then it's easy. And you can just say it and you just do it. And so when you really are clear on those three things, that's going to be the foundation for everything you create in your business, which brings us to the next thing. Once you're clear, and when I say once you're clear, I mean, once you have a clarity on that, that doesn't mean it can't change. It doesn't mean it can't evolve. There absolutely will be times where the type of result you provide changes, or the type of person you want to work with changes, or you change. That all can happen. So this is a starting point when it comes to getting clear on those things. Get as clear as you can. And then you want to start becoming visible, which is number 2. You're not in business if you're not visible. If people can't find you, you're not in business. Again, I see with online coaches and entrepreneurs, when they come into this industry, they know they can help people. They know they're really good at what they do, and they know they have tools and all kinds of things that can help people create a result. But then fear comes in when they're like, oh my gosh, I actually have to show up online. I actually have to say something into a camera. I actually have to post and put myself out there. And that can be really difficult. But the way the industry is right now is social media is absolutely the best and easiest and fastest way to attract clients, because 1, it's free. 2, everybody's on there. That's where everybody hangs out. In my opinion, people aren't necessarily going to Google as their search engine as much as they used to. And now they're starting to go to Instagram, or they're starting to even go to Facebook to find what they need. I know for me, when I'm looking for information on a product or a service, I'm not going to Google and trying to find their website. I'm not going to look at their website even. I'm going to their social media account and I want to see what they've got going on there. That's where I'm going to find the information that I want to know. Your Instagram and your Facebook, those are where people are going to find information. That's where I go to find information. And that's where those are becoming our websites to some degree. I'm not saying you don't need a website. I'm just saying that in the beginning, you don't necessarily need a website to be visible and for people to find you online. Because to be honest, they're not going to your website to find you. They're going to your social media. So it's really important that you start to build a brand on social media. You start to become visible on social media. And that will all depend. Where to show up on social media will depend on where your ideal clients, that clarity work that you did, where they're hanging out. Pick the platform. I would say 1 to 2 platforms at most to start with, and really build your brand vibe and become really visible on those platforms. Once you get good and once you get used to it, and once you start building your brand, if you want to reach out and start another couple in social media platforms, maybe LinkedIn, maybe TikTok, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, you have to know what your capacity is and how well you can do these things. If you struggle in that area, don't overwhelm yourself by trying to be in all places all at once. Definitely work your way up to getting more things into your space. Like if you can start a podcast, that's a really great way to become visible. You've got to do what's comfortable for you. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, but you need to be visible in at least one of those spaces, at least one. And then as you become more skilled, you can start to venture out and get into more areas. So visibility, absolutely. And building that brand around yourself is really important. And we go really deep into that in the Client Attractor because I have a whole section called identity in there, which is helping you build your brand and your brand vibe for your business. But for now, just know you need to be out there. You need to use your voice. You need to share yourself, share your story, share your opinions, share your thoughts. People want to hear from you. Okay. So make sure that you're becoming visible on your social media. And then the third thing is, which ties into the visibility, is your messaging. You need to be really clear and have solid messaging that speaks to the right people. I want to make sure this is really clear. Content, so having a social media platform and putting up content is not the same as messaging. Okay. So content is the actual thing that you posted. Messaging is the message that goes with that content. It's the thing that makes that content connect with someone that is your ideal client. So you need to have strong messaging in your online business so that you can create content with the right messaging that speaks to the right people. And that's why the clarity piece is so important, because if you're not clear on who it is that you serve and the results you provide, how can you have clear messaging that speaks to that person? Because you don't even know. So in order to have solid messaging, you really need to understand and know who you're speaking to. You need to know what they're thinking, what they're suffering with, what are their problems, what are their desires, where are they scrolling, what are they thinking, what are they doing? Those things can help you create solid messaging for your business, because when you know and understand those things, then you can speak to that stuff in your content. And so having that solid messaging is really important. When I come to your Instagram account, it should be very clear when I land on your account who you are, what you do, and how you help people. Because if I can get that clarity within a second, probably even less than a second, then I know that's how much time you have. You literally have seconds to grab someone's attention to say whether I'm going to stay and follow or if I'm not. So you want to make sure that you're really clear on the results you provide and who you provide it for and what your brand vibe is, and that you're getting visible on social media and you're creating content that has strong messaging that you're doing over and over and over again, so that when people come into your world and they come into your space, they know who you are, what you do, and how you help people. Because then they'll make that decision really quickly as, oh, this is me. This is something I struggle with. This is something I want help with. She looks like she knows what she's doing. Follow, right? And that's how you attract clients in, because they relate to your content. Your messaging doesn't always have to be amazing value and giving away all your stuff. I believe you can talk about all the things and you're never giving away too much. But I feel like people often will think that messaging is just giving value content or how-to content, or this is how you do this, or this is how you do that. Much like this video, it's like, hey, this is 3 things that you need in order to grow your business. This is value content, but it's not the only kind of content or the only kind of messaging that you can share that's going to create connection with your audience. You can also share stories, your own personal stories. You can share some behind the scenes of your life and in your business. Those kinds of things create connection. You can be vulnerable. I've talked a lot about vulnerability and being human and sharing real things. That also creates connection. So your messaging is going to be a combination of all the things, but all of those things still relate to who it is that you help create results for, right? Because they're most likely you are a version of your ideal client. What you're going through and what you're doing, they're most likely in the same place. They're just a bunch of steps behind you. So when you tell your stories of how you felt and how you did things and what went on while you were doing it and those kinds of things, they can relate to that kind of content because they're there now. And then they're like, oh, she understands me. She gets me. I need to see more. I want to learn more. And that's how you start to attract people in. And again, this is basically the outline of what I teach my clients inside the Client Attractor. Of course, we go deeper into it inside the program, as well as it gets supported with 12 weeks of coaching with me as well. Every week we get on and we have the best calls. I love my Client Attractor calls. I support you personally while you are getting your clarity, while you are getting, your visibility, while you're creating your signature program, and while you're getting ready to launch it and bring in your first few paid clients. This is all the stuff that we go through inside the program as well. But I wanted to give you sort of a highlights of what is necessary and what's important when it comes to building your online business and what things can wait, right? Like websites can wait. We don't need websites right away. We don't need to have a logo necessarily right away. It's important to kind of know what you want your brand vibe to be and what kind of colors feel good. Those are the main areas of what we teach inside the program. And I wanted to give you guys a little inside peek here. So that is it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if there was something that I shared in this video today or in this podcast today that was like an aha moment for you. If you don't have something, maybe you don't have the clarity, or maybe you're feeling that fear about getting online, you just got to do it. You just have to do it. You've got to have the visibility. People can't find you if you're not putting yourself out there. And then obviously building the strong messaging. So if you have any questions about this program, about anything I shared here today, you guys know you can always find me on Instagram at I am Shayna Recker. I'm always happy to chat in the DMs. And I hope you're all having a great day. And this is how it's really going.